All right, we are here with Eicca Toppinen from Apocalyptica. Hello.
Hello.
It was just midsummer in Finland. How did you celebrate it? Was it traditional midsummer for you?
Kind of. Usually we are always playing somewhere when it's festival season, but this time I was in the archipelago of Turku. It was nice, very nice.
So what's up with Apocalyptica these days? Because you guys haven't updated any news much. So what are you doing these days?
We're just touring. We have a lot of special shows this summer, and we are touring until up to mid of September, and then we are going to have a proper break. So there's no plans for the next step, but because we don't want to rush with the next stuff.
Okay. And so what kind of special shows are you gonna make?
For example, next week Sunday we play in the Opera Festival in Finland, and we do some special opera-driven things, arrangements there. And then we have in August we have a concert with the symphony orchestra and a very famous soprano, Karita Mattila, and we do combo show with them. So that's kind of exciting, let's say.
But is it like the opera show? The first one, is it in Savonlinna?
Yeah.
Are you going to have any opera singers there?
There are not going to be any singers, but we are doing some opera material there as well.
Okay. I also heard that you're going to come to Australia soon. Is it your first time there?
Yeah, it's going to be our first time in Australia. We've been always waiting for that, and we were told that okay, let's wait for the offer for Big Day Out or Soundwave, but I don't know how we were never able to do it before. But we are really looking forward to it.
So it's going to be a solo tour?
Yeah, that's what I've understood, yeah.
Okay. And I also heard that you got a new band with your wife. Yeah. And you play drums there?
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Tell us more.
Yeah, it's like a hobby kind of thing. We started to play music for fun and just, songs that we like. We do rock and punk, Finnish music, a lot of Finnish bands, old punk bands, and some international bands like Foo Fighters, Danko Jones, Jimi Hendrix, Doors. We have no limitation in style, just the music that we like. And now we just released the cover of old Finnish song and made a video out of it. And maybe if things go well, we do our music and maybe make an album next winter. But it's a lot of fun. It's great to do something different, to play a different instrument. Playing drums is totally different world than playing cello. So I really enjoy it. I played a little bit drums when I was a kid, but I didn't play for 20 years until we started to, have fun with that, and it's fun. We do shows in the small clubs, pubs and places like that. So it's very different from Apocalyptica, and I really enjoy it. It's really going back to the roots. You have no expectation, and you just fucking fool around, with the music you love. It's good.
So have you done many shows already?
I think around 40 to 50 during 2 years. So we've been busy, and this summer I think we have now booked like 10 shows, and the fall we do. But it's different, when we have a break with Apocalyptica. It's like in Finland you do shows with band like Sherry and the Vipers, that you play Friday, Saturday, and that's it. So for me, it's comparing to regular touring, what I'm used to. It's totally different than to go, to play 1 or 2 shows a week somewhere where you can drive in and not drive out. So it's fun. It's very relaxing.
So what's the name of the band?
It's called Sherry and the Vipers.
All right, I think I heard that somewhere already. Do you have any drum influences, that people that you look up to that made you start to play drums?
Not so much. Of course, Mikko is a big influence for me because I play all the time with him. So I'm very used to his special style of drumming, but I don't know. I have my own style because I don't copy paste, what the original drummers what they play. In some songs it's crucial I play almost exactly like the original ones, but more like okay, I know the song and then I play my own way. I'm not like a typical drummer in that sense because I never started playing drums. I'm a punk drummer, I don't consider myself as a drummer. I just play drums.
All right. And I also heard that you're releasing, well, not you, but there is going to be a photo book that you did with Ville Jurikala. So how was it? How was it working with him?
That's actually out already. Working with Ville, we worked with Ville many times, and he's a great guy. I've been involved in some other his projects as well in the past, and he's a great guy. We've been friends for ages.
And I also noticed that it's like a part of this pledge kind of project where fans pay for it in a way. So what do you think about this whole concept where like fans sponsor the music and stuff that musicians make?
I think it's a great tool. You know that you can even skip record labels on these times when it's almost impossible to get any record deals for new bands, and even for older bands it's very hard to continue their deals because all the record labels, especially the big ones, big labels, they're cutting down their roster, and then the bands are in the situation that how to finance, you know, studio costs, and therefore the pledge, for example, it's a great tool that it helps bands to create music and, you know, go to studio, because it's hard for a band, you know, to go to bank. Can I get a loan because I have this band? And, you know, and then the bank is like, okay, but, you know, how are you going to pay it back? You know, and that helps. It's great that there comes, people develop new kind of tools where with the people who make music and the audience, they get closer, and the communication, we get rid of unnecessary, you know, blocks and things in between the music and the audience.
So do you think basically could it save the music industry?
I don't know, but you know, all these new kind of innovations, they will, as a total. I won't say that the pledge itself alone, but I'm expecting that during next years we will get tons of new kind of innovations on how to broadcast your music or your videos or whatever, and music is not disappearing. You know, people think that music disappeared. No, there will be a new kind of wave of artists and music makers and new ways to spread the music. Maybe the times of the traditional way that okay, you make an album and then you tour 2 years worldwide and then you make another album. Maybe those times are over in a couple of years. Might be. Maybe you release songs, or maybe you do, you know, different performances, and I don't know. I have no answer. I see tons of different possibilities, and I think in the final end that will make music culture more living and more active and more diverse.
So, being a Finn, you probably know that in Finland metal is kind of mainstream compared to other countries. Yeah. Why do you think is that?
I don't know. Maybe it's like people think that they have to accept metal because it used to be the only music style that got known abroad. And of course, metal has been always a big thing. I don't know, metal culture has been always big, always the first big bands ever came to Finland, they were like Metallica, Iron Maiden. You know, in those times Finland was just a small piece of shit in the world map, and all the big artists, they maybe played in Stockholm, but they never came to Helsinki. Now the situation is different, but 20 years ago when I was a kid, you know, it was just few bands who came up to here. So that's one reason why the metal scene has became very strong. But also, a lot of metal music is like Schlager, like this kind of, it's just a little bit different sound. But you know, the melodic and other stuff on many Finnish metal is like Schlager. It's like old people music.
Yeah. So
I don't think it's metal too much, you know, to be honest.
Probably.
It's the same.
So, you know, there are a lot of festivals, of course, also happening in Finland. Did you go to any festivals when you were a kid? And what's your favorite memory?
I didn't go. I spent all my time when I was young. I spent my time on the classical events because they always offered master classes where you can study cello playing, and you got great international teachers. Like Kuhmo Chamber Music Festival, it's a legendary chamber music festival. I think the classical festivals, they were many times much more hardcore, you know, on partying side than any of the rock festivals I've seen. And I think to be honest, the first time I was in the proper rock festival was with Apocalyptica, and that was we were joining Leningrad Cowboys. I was 96, and we played in Messila, and it was this midsummer party festival full of super wasted teenagers in mud. That was kind of the worst scenario of the Finnish rock festival you can imagine. So that was the first experience. But now, later on, especially some festivals in Finland, which I like Ruisrock, Ilosari. If I have time in the schedule, I always try to spend some extra days on the festival, just as a tourist. I like it.
So do you have any goal left as a band, to, I don't know, play some venue, receive some award, or achieve some sort of status, I don't know?
We've never been focused on any awards or stuff like that. I think our main goal is to stay motivated, stay inspired, achieve new kind of ways to create music. That's the goal. And we have a lot of visions for the future, but as there are so many possibilities, different directions we could go next, we decided, okay, let's have a proper break. Let's take some distance to Apocalyptica, do other things, do whatever we like, and see what starts to develop, and what kind of things we feel the strongest. That okay, this is what we want to do next. That there are a lot of musical things that we want to achieve.
Well, I guess that's the way to go.